What's up, yo? Real good here. I am currently noticing the ways that there seem to be conflicts between the righteous, good, supposedly spiritual path and healthy interpersonal relationships versus the path of lucrative, financial, and superficial, so to speak, excess and abundance. Let's get into it. First, real quick, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And if you have the means of supporting this project, head over to patreon.com/realgoodlife. Even subscribing $1 a day helps. Let's get into it. So this started at least a few years ago, where I started to notice that all of the goodest, wisest people that I knew were giving and living philosophies and advice that conflicted heavily even with the goodest people at my job. And my job is very culturally healthy, at least relative to most corporate structures. This situation I've seen exacerbated, or rather my concern is even more extreme, relationally, interpersonally. I find a lot of people seemingly motivated by things that I consider not so healthy, and using behaviors and approaches, strategies and manipulations that are definitely full of injections and manipulations. And capitalizing. They're getting a lot of whatever it is they think they want. My practice is to attempt to offer healthier ways of relating, but there's an entire system growing up that exists and continues to grow in forms of abundance that I don't necessarily see as true abundance, but there's this conflict. So maybe that's one of the first points of discernment, is the difference between apparent abundance, it's called superficial or material abundance, versus true abundance. What is true abundance? Is it fair to even say that material abundance is not true abundance? What about money and sexual relationships and other superficial things that people seem to chase and collect and be willing to manipulate for? Are those really not true abundance? I'm not sure. I do feel a lot of people that are in the abundance of these sorts of things, they feel like they're in an incredible lot of pain to me. They feel very lost and unable to relate to themselves, to navigate those sorts of pains. They really feel stuck and trapped in programs which I dare say feel unevolved. It doesn't mean that if you're rich, you're unevolved. It doesn't mean that if you're having lots of sex, you're unevolved. It doesn't mean if you have any form of abundance that you're not evolved. It doesn't mean that at all. In fact, I live this lifestyle and take this approach because I absolutely believe that reality, goodness, and work, and really living a good lifestyle is the ticket to the largest form of abundance. So what is that? What is this true abundance? Well, I think material gain, sexual gain, any sort of superficial gain can also come from a gain in character, in quality of character, and the way that you show up. And ideally, it's true quality of character, true self-work, and an internal relationship to the external that's truly good that results in abundance. Let me clarify that before we come back and look at the nuance. To take that a step further, I do believe that the buck stops with our inner self. And that's not even to say that it's about the inner self exercising on the outer self. I mean that whatever is our own true somatic experience is what's going on for us. That doesn't mean abandon the external, but it does mean for most of us that we should probably be spending 80% of our effort expanding our inner experience, our own inner capacity to be with what's coming up for us and own that as the core of our reality. And then starting to increment a bit back into applying ourselves toward the external, but not get caught up in chasing the external, right? A way of looking at this or verbalizing this is, what feelings are you trying to feel? What feelings are you trying to avoid? And have that actually be our litmus test for what's going on. Instead of thinking like, oh, I want a big boat. It's like, cool, what feelings are you trying to feel? Oh, you want to feel cool or special or belonging or powerful. Maybe there's other ways of getting there, and maybe it doesn't even necessarily involve the external. So let's come back to the nuance. The nuance in the question where I'd like to start fleshing out is, there absolutely are feelings of abundance. There are feelings of goodness and excitement and joy and belonging and coolness and pride success and accomplishment that come with things that are supposedly superficial. And so I don't find these superficial things to be inherently bad. What I'd really like is for our behaviors to align with reality and goodness, for us to be doing the work of improving our orientation to life. And I would like for that to be continuing to pay out in whatever form of abundance is good to you. And maybe your experience of what's good and what you think is good and whether or not it's more external or external will continue to evolve, and that's great. That's your path. I welcome you to it. I encourage you to it. I'm calling you to it. That's what we're here doing. What's your reality? Keep checking in and leaning towards reality. And what's goodness to you? Keep leaning in and watching that grow and evolve. And keep doing the work. Keep putting in the effort, applying the effort so that we can continue in this system of abundance together. I appreciate you. If you appreciate this, if you hear what I'm saying, if you're intrigued, hit that like button. If you've got questions and comments and ideas, share them in the comment section. And again, if you can get over to patreon.com/realgoodlife and support this project, thank you. Let's do this. It's been real good. See y'all again soon.